Why do you think that a wealthy man is quicker to change a broke woman's life, but a wealthy woman wouldn't even look a broke guy's way?
Because women have a lot more value than men.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of history there and a lot of like, I don't know.
I think the wealthy woman's a little more hesitant because maybe the man might want to take advantage. Wealthy man, on the other hand, is, I don't know, maybe kind of obligated to kind of take care of the woman, and that's kind of how it goes.
Are you saying you want to be with a woman who makes a lot more money than you?
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I'm sorry. My friends are upset with me. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry.
In situations like that, it's because that's the way social media is portraying the world and society. I think that it's not about the money. It's about what someone can offer you emotionally. And it's not about financial. Money, my grandma always said, you could take anything with you. You can't take money with you. Time is what's of the essence. You understand what I'm saying? Putting in that effort and putting in that wanting to get to know somebody and putting in that work to actually make the relationship work. I think sometimes these women are so gassed up by these fake bodies and these niggas that got money. They going to Dubai, they going to Miami. That shit is cap. Cause sometimes these niggas, they live with their baby moms. They got that PPP fucking loan. They ain't got shit. They got a whole bunch of kids. They not taking care of nothing. These niggas, they nothing. All that Versace, Givenchy, Gucci shit. That shit is temporary. It's temporary. You know what I'm saying? You want to be with somebody. It's not about the money. It's about what he's gonna offer you emotionally, your mental state. You understand what I'm saying? So I think sometimes women just want to escape that. Oh my God, I'm struggling with my kids and I got a job and I got this and that. It's okay. You struggling right now, but it's not forever. It's temporary.
Man and woman want different things. There's certain things that a man looks for in a woman versus a woman wants certain things they look for in a man. Don't no woman want a man that they gotta build up. They want a man that's already established versus a man, they just want a woman that's gonna cater to them in different ways than how a woman will for a man. So it's just two different things that we want.
And then you have sometimes you even got, then what he said is true, but then you just have some that they looking for a man to try to try to build their own type of man. Like if he's on the bottom, they trying to build him to what they want him to be. But my thing is, a man's not going to be what they want him to be. He's only going to be what he wants to be. But they feel like they could change a man, and they feel like if they cater to a man who ain't got nothing, they think they could build him into something that they're not, which will never happen. It never works.
Because they have something to offer us, and at the end of the day, a lot of the guys in our generation, at least, or the guys that I've had acquaintances with, meet on Tinder, they don't have anything to offer me. All they want to do is have sex.
I don't know. For me, like, if all I can say is if I put myself in their shoes, if I was wealthy, I just want to make sure no one's using me. I don't really care for money like that.
Sure. But wouldn't you say that most women growing up are taught to look for a guy who's successful, who has the money, who can provide?
That depends on your how you're raised. I was raised with just my mom, and she was telling me, like, don't ever depend on a guy. Like, we've seen women in our family, great grandma, stuck with terrible men because they're there for the money. So how I'm raised, it's hard for me to let a guy do things for me because I want to be the independent woman who knows I can take care of myself and never be dependent financially on a man.
Can you define hypergamy?
Define what?
Hypergamy.
Hyperbole?
Hypergamy.
I cannot, no.
Okay, so hypergamy essentially is the act of marrying somebody who you believe is more successful than you, or having a sexual relationship with that person.
Okay.
So which gender do you think practices hypergamy more?
Probably the woman.
Why is that?
It's not a sexist thing. It's just, I feel like that's just how things are made out to be. The man is supposed to be the one that carries the weight in terms of financials and anything like that. So I just naturally, I think the woman seeks the man that takes care of the woman.
Females to males, 1,000%.
Okay.
I would say. Who uses hypergamy more?
Right.
1,000%. Who uses, like, status to
Determine,
marry
yes,
more?
exactly.
Don't even try to, like,
I mean,
don't even try to think about it. It's females all the way.
Okay.
I guess so.
Oh, definitely women.
Oh, for sure, I agree. Yeah, yeah.
Definitely women.
Because of the stigma that women have dealt with throughout history, though, we've always been like the second category, though. We can't forget what history is, though. Women have always been the ones who have, back in the freaking even up until the 1920s, women didn't have an identity unless it was to their husband. So, like, we've got to consider that still is relevant today, just the same way that it's relevant that African Americans are not equal to white people. We've got to realize that.
Definitely women, because if anything, men are supposed to be caregivers at the end of the day. In my own belief, personal beliefs, I definitely think that men should be the caregivers, and that women are always going to be looking for somebody that can bring that, or even from the sense of having children, somebody that can provide and make sure that those children and that wife, female, whatever it is, will be secure as well at the end of the day.
I'm going to stab him in the back and disagree. I'm going to say wholeheartedly depends on your socioeconomic stability. Meaning, hypothetically, in all honesty, to be honest, sorry that sounded redundant, a lot of men in very poor standards will date a woman that has maybe like a kind of a basic 9-to-5 job and will leech onto that. So again, not to say the deadbeat baby daddy, but again, it's just socioeconomic. It has nothing to do with race, religion, et cetera, et cetera. It's socioeconomic. So whether you grow up in, any type of rural area or et cetera, a lot of men typically leech onto a successful woman. Maybe not successful in the fact that has extreme monetary gains, but someone that works such a basic job, has basic income, and the dad's like, I'm gonna wake up at 12, smoke me a spliff, and etc. Again, socioeconomic, not limited. Look at these guys. Anyway, socioeconomic, not race or religion, so don't get it twisted. Socioeconomic, white, black, pink, Persian, Philistini, Antarctica, socioeconomic.
I don't think there's people up in Antarctica.
So if women historically marry up, wouldn't that mean that men historically marry down?
That's true. That's true. But I think sometimes in our culture too, a lot of men, they're not as motivated as women are. If you see like right now in this era, a lot of women, they're educated, they got degrees. A lot of men, they got like multiple baby mamas. They still out there in the streets. They still trying to find their way. You know what I'm saying? So they're like, oh, I see a girl, she got a car, she got a crib, she got a job, like she motivated, like I'm gonna use her to level up. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, you're gonna use her to level up, and then when it don't work out, what you gonna do? You gonna move on to the next shorty?
So if women historically date up, wouldn't men historically date down?
True.
So that being the case, wouldn't men be the ones settling?
Sometimes. Most of the time not. I feel like the women settle for the men most of the time just because they feel comfortable with who they're with. They find someone that takes care of them, and
But I mean, how would a woman settle for a guy if she's the one being taken care of?
man, I don't know.
If historically women have always married up, wouldn't that mean that men historically married down?
It would mean that because of the circumstances that are given, though, because like men, such as the reference I just made, like they have a higher standard in society, and it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is.
So that would mean that men were the ones settling too, right?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say that a man doesn't marry down, because he does. I mean, I'm a teacher. I make 40 that barely
37. Let's be real.
I barely make $40,000 a year. So if I marry a man making 60, 70, 80K a year, they're marrying down. They're settling.
If historically women always married up, wouldn't men be the ones who married down?
Yeah, in a sense, because, I mean, well, no, because you also have to look at what the wife will provide. They're going to help you raise your children. They're first going to be birthing the children. They're the ones that hold on to it for 9 months. And that's way more difficult. And on top of it, it's
raise the child, the most difficult part.
You have to look at the pros and cons. I mean, it's a pros and cons list at the end of it, but I think that you shouldn't look at it from the standpoint of a man marrying down or looking down, because in a sense, throughout history, up until current day, men have made more than women. So it's as simple as that as well.
I think a lot of people have a twisted understanding of what a relationship entails, meaning that they sense monetary value, such as working a high-income job brings more value to the table. But I hate to be the bearer of bad news. If you're working a 9 to 5 as, say, a lawyer, judge, doctor, and you produce $200,000, but you're doing nothing at home, such as raising the children, helping the children, what true value do you bring to a relationship other than monetary? So that's where we got it twisted. It's like, as a society, we see monetary is the most value. Anything other is just an added factor to the matter. So going back to the whole deep-rooted culture, back then, monetary was kind of fictitious. It was, hey, bring home the kill.
It was a
right. It was just provide the necessary means to survive. So again, going back, I think that's what society has kind of twisted. It's like, whoever brings the most money in is the most supported. That's not true.
If historically women always married up, wouldn't that mean that men married down?
Absolutely.
So men in that case would be settling, right?
A lot of men settle.
A lot of men settle.
I agree with that. A lot of men settle.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. But see, there's a real conversation in that you ain't ready for. White women marry up. Okay? And most of our sisters marry down, but you're not ready for that conversation. That could take you a whole other place right now. And I told you I've been drinking, so you might want to get that mic off.
So
Come out when you drink, though.
no, but let's explore though. Why do you believe that most white women marry up and minorities, black women, marry down?
Because white women have been trained by their mothers to marry up. The man is supposed to take care of you. The man is the head of the household, where a lot of times, a lot of our sisters have been told that black men ain't shit. You feel what I'm saying? I can do it for myself. I made it on my own. But you're not ready for that conversation. Get that mic off me because I've been drinking.
Do you think that is why in society it is sometimes deemed the angry black woman is more masculine, whereas you see a lot of brothers getting with white women because they're more submissive?
Did you see the NBA draft class this year? It's a bunch of high yellow brothers like me and him in that class. So what you think? Absolutely.
Do you think that unconditional love is a real thing, or are people only as faithful as their options?
I don't think unconditional love is a thing. I think people are kind of just in for what they have at the moment. It's love if they're happy at the moment. If they're unhappy, then they kind of claim it's not love.
Speaking from my experience, I believe in unconditional love, but I'm just naturally a hopeless romantic. So for me, it's like through thick and thin. Like, I want to go through the bad things with one person. I want to go through the good things with one person, but no, we overcame all the obstacles. Whereas some people want to leave when it's not convenient. They don't want to put the work in.
Sometimes people are only faithful as their options.
Okay.
That's true.
So is it fair to say that a man's loyalty is tested when he has everything? Money, car, status.
Absolutely.
A lot of women want him.
Absolutely.
But a woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing.
Absolutely. Okay. Because when a man has nothing and a woman loves him, she's so tempted to be like, oh, like my nigga don't got no car. My man, he's struggling to pay the bills. He's struggling to feed me. And there's a nigga on my line like, yo, I'm going to feed you every day. I'm going to pay your bills. I'm going to do all that. The nigga who's doing that, is he trustworthy? If you needed a kidney, will he give you one? Can you trust him around your kids? Is he respectful? You know what I'm saying? It's certain things you have to evaluate with people, and people are not willing to do that.
Do you believe in unconditional love, or are people only as faithful as their options?
I believe in unconditional love because I will say I've seen it in my own life, not only through my own relationship, but even through relationships that I've seen throughout my uncles, my aunts, things that they've gone through very tough times. And it also goes back to other older generations. Like my dad got married, probably didn't even have $10,000 to his name. In today's age, you can't do that. So I do believe that to push through a lot of those tough times, you do need that unconditional love.
I agree with him 100%. My girl, etc., she's the same way. You see certain things that's like, listen, if this woman didn't unconditionally love me, she wouldn't do. Such as, to be unhygienic, clean your ears for you, pick your nose for you, etc. Your girlfriend will say, oh, you got something in your nose, etc. So that is the unconditional love, which a lot of men, unfortunately, don't quite see. But that is necessary. I don't care if the girl is hit or etc. If you don't have that unconditional love, nothing's gonna last.
So let me ask you, gentlemen, this: do any of you have deal breakers in your current relationship?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean.
So if you have a deal breaker, how does unconditional love exist?
Well, I think
there's lines in a relationship. There's like certain things that you have to establish, and that's all about communication. If you don't have a strong sense of communication,
these scat packs. PSA: if you drive a scat pack or an RT, you're broke. You're gonna Hellcat. Because that scat pack will get run down by like a 335 or 328.
F all that. I know this is going on YouTube. F all that. If you ain't driving an AMG or M, you're broke.
No, that's a whole different conversation. Anyway.
So, I mean, look, is unconditional love real, or are people only as faithful as their options?
Faithful as their options.
I feel like social media has ruined a lot. It's all about image now, it seems like. It's not about true love anymore. It's about what you look like or your status. It's not real love anymore. That's what I feel like, because my grandparents, they've been together for 50-something years. I feel like love like that doesn't exist anymore because of just the way society and culture has just portrayed everything. So social media has really ruined a lot, because now it's all about status of what you look like. It's not about what you, as far as your values and principles and morals anymore. It's about what you look, it's all about image. That's it. So I don't feel like
I used to believe in that unconditional love stuff, but nah, not anymore. There's always a condition. Like there's certain things that, you know, that you would deem you can accept that's acceptable, and there's some things that's unacceptable. Like I'm not dealing with a woman that cheats. I've had that experience before. I'm not even gonna get into that, but that's a condition.
Do you believe it's worse when a woman cheats or worse when a guy cheats?
I think it's worse when, I mean, cheating across the board is bad. Let me. Yeah, I'm gonna be clear on that.
We got yeah.
Cheating across the board is bad, but I think it's worse when a woman does it. The reason being is because a guy can just sleep with a chick and there's no emotions to it. It's just, you're just doing it. She looks good. No emotional attachment to it. We're just doing it. Versus a woman is more of an emotional creature compared to a man. So a woman puts more emotion into it. So a man, we gonna look at it like, damn, like there's clearly some emotional attachment for you to be sleeping with another guy. It just the thought of it, our egos is just like, it'll freaking destroy us.
It can kill someone. It can hurt a guy.
You got men that go to war over women. You got men that kill each other over women. You know, so yeah, it's definitely worse when a woman does it.
And that's what the people have to say about modern dating tonight in Charlotte. Definitely follow us on TikTok and Instagram at The Desirable Truth. But we're going to wrap this up right here, so you already know. Peace, love, sleep in grease. Like, share, and subscribe for more vlogs, videos like this one, because osazevlogs.
I know that you're drunk. Yeah. Tell me what you want after this club. You know you're nasty. Don't move around in my house, call a taxi.